In this video, I'll give you some important tips about preparing your presentation using NovaMind. In NovaMind Pro and Platinum, there are two templates which you can use for creating your presentations, and I'll briefly show you them both now. But I'll also show you how to put together your presentation without using a template as well, so you have all the information to do it the way you want. The first template is from the book Beyond Bullet Points by Cliff Atkinson. To create a new document from a template in the Windows version of NovaMind, click on the NovaMind button and select New, and then New Document from Template. Now scroll down to the Presentation section and select the Beyond Bullet Points one. Now you can either just create the mind map as is, or you can select a theme to apply to it, like this. In this case, I would recommend not using a theme because the mind maps that we've provided as templates have been designed quite nicely, but it's up to you. So now click the Create button. If you've already got a document and you want to add a new mind map from a template, click on the down arrow next to the plus sign for adding a new map and choose the option to add a map from a template and follow the same steps as we've just seen. On the Mac version of NovaMind, if you have not turned it off in the preferences, it will automatically ask you if you want to create a new map using a template. But if you've turned that option off, you can create a new document from a template like this. Select the presentation category and choose the first one, then click Next, or you can just double click on the mind map, and then you can select a theme to apply to it. But again, I would recommend that for the presentation templates that you don't select a theme, just click the No Theme button instead. You can create another mind map in an existing document by using the Map menu item and selecting New Map from Template. Now you have a document which contains the framework for your presentation. And that framework here is the setting, where am I, the role, who am I here, point A, what challenge do I face, point B, where do I want to be, and the call to action, how do I get from point A to point B. You'll see that the template has a link to the book on Amazon.com if you want to buy it. So let's have a look at the other template. This is from the book The 7-Slide Solution by Paul Kelly. The outline on this one is to engage, tell the backstory, build tension, bring it to the boil, offer choices of solutions, provide resolution, and then set up the sequel. The link to Amazon.com is built into the template. These templates may very well suit your needs, and if so, I encourage you to use them. But I'll also teach you another way that you can put together your presentation based on studies on learning styles and how people react to the information that they're presented with. You've probably heard about the concept that different people learn in different ways, and David Kolb did some very interesting research which concluded that there are 4 main ways that people learn new things: by experiencing something for themselves, by observing something and reflecting on what they've learned, by thinking about what they've heard, or by doing things for themselves. Now, it's difficult to appeal to all the different learning types in a single speech, but Bernice McCarthy put together what is called the format system, which is designed to hook the interest and attention of all the different learning types. The format system of presentation is divided into 4 sections, which are why, what, how, and what if. Now, we can't go into a lot of depth on this, but it's really important to give the presentation in this specific order. So firstly, why? Why should I be listening to you? What's in it for me? If you don't hook these people right up front with a good reason for them to listen to you, you'll not be able to get them to listen to the rest of the talk no matter what you do. And I'm talking about an attention span sometimes of just a few seconds. That's why at the start of this video, my opening statement was, in this video, I'll give you some important tips about preparing your presentation using NovaMind. Now you know why you should listen. You really want to hook these people because they are the ones who take your message on board as part of themselves and spread it to other people. Secondly, what? What are you going to teach me? What specifically am I going to get out of this? What are the underlying concepts? So if you recall, my second sentence was, in NovaMind Pro and Platinum, there are 2 templates which you can use for creating your presentations, and I'll briefly show you them both now, but I'll show you how to put together your presentation without using a template as well, so you have all the information to do it the way you want. If these people don't get that information near the start of the presentation, They'll think that there's no substance to what you're talking about. They're happy to sit through a brief introduction while you talk to the why people, but you need their attention immediately after that so that they can begin their process of absorbing the concepts, absorbing it all and modeling it in their mind. These are the people who will be able to explain in logical detail exactly what the idea is and can then take it forward and implement it, sticking to the true concepts no matter what human or other obstacles are in the way. Thirdly, how? How does it all work? How can I make this work? What are the real-world practical applications of this? How can I try this out for myself? This is why the next section of the start of this presentation showed you exactly how you can create documents from the templates. These people will take away the information you gave them and try it for themselves. Some of them will be able to visualize themselves doing the things that you were talking about, but in many cases they need to actually do it themselves. These people have a bit longer attention spans and are okay to sit through the first sections, and they're also partially triggered by the ideas of what you can get out of it, so that helps them to start hooking into the benefits. When these people know that it works by experiencing it for themselves, they'll build strategies and designs to implement the ideas widely and will inspire others to follow them. And lastly, what if? What if the conditions are different? What if it doesn't go as expected? What new possibilities will this open up for me? This is why I made a brief mention of what if you already have a document and want to add another presentation mind map to the document. These people will be thinking up questions right from the moment you start your talk, and if you have an open forum, they will often try to interrupt your presentation to ask their questions. It's very important that you don't get diverted by this, or you'll completely lose the other 3/4 of the group. Ask them instead to write down their questions and you can answer them at the end of your presentation or the end of that section. Now, if you're just giving a one-way presentation, think of some of the questions that they may ask if they had the opportunity and ask them and answer them yourself. Also, don't be scared to ask questions where you've given the clues in your presentation, but don't give them a direct answer. These people love to be given questions where they have to work out the answers for themselves. These people love doing things with what they have learned and will get in there and learn by trial and error, and when they have got it, they will share their vision of the possibilities that this opens up and will encourage and cajole other people to become involved. This is really only touching the tip of the iceberg as far as presentations goes, but it will give you a really solid, good foundation for your presentations. So when you're implementing this, if you're giving a really short talk, you should start with the title of the talk in the center of your mind map and then create the 4 main branches covering the 4 aspects of the format system like this. But if you're going to be doing a longer presentation, then you should have the main concepts as your first level branches. Now, I recommend having no more than a maximum of 7 main branches, or there will be just too many concepts for people to take in. Then for each main branch, you can have the 4 sections as sub-branches. This is an important aspect of giving talks that are longer than just a few minutes. Once you've got past the why section, you're doing very little to trigger the interest of those people. Then your what people have got their fix of data and they've processed that and they're ready for the next chunk, and so on. So you need to repeat the cycle for each of the main topics. This is the topic, here are the concepts I'll teach you, here's how it works in practice, and here are some common questions or other situations that applies to. So I'll do another video on how to give presentations from a mind map, and although I'm sure that you've got some clues about delivery from the information that I've given here, I'll extend that and give you some more details in the next video. Now, have you noticed that in this presentation I've gone through the cycles in the 4 areas? What if you're writing an article or a book? Do you think that maybe these same principles might apply? Do you think that you could apply the format system to the 2 templates that we've supplied? So if you'd like more information about the underlying concepts, you can look up the Learning Style Inventory by David Kolb and the work of Bernice McCarthy. I look forward to talking to you again in the video about presentation delivery.